Hey guys, I'm Coach Michael Bird, the super coach, the monster coach, the everybody's coach, because I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. Every single month I teach Monster Producer. We believe a monster producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skill sets to dominate a market. This month in specific, okay, what I've been doing is I've been breaking down how to go inside the mind of a monster. How does a monster think? Right? How does a monster think? How do they respond? How do they take risk? How do they overcome fear and uncertainty? How do they stimulate their own economies with a 90-day burn, the last 90 days of the year? Okay? How can you help a monster? So what I've really been doing this month is I've really been breaking down this concept of if we went inside the mind of the biggest monsters that we have in Monster Producer. I really want to focus on two key components, okay? Number one, how do they overcome fear and uncertainty in their own life? Because every monster, don't let them tell you any different. They wake up every morning just like I do. They wake up afraid of losing everything, afraid of not being able to keep going, afraid of keeping it all in the box, afraid of keeping this going and that going. They wake up afraid, but the big-time monsters use that fear as fuel. You see a little baby monster contracts and retreats when they get scared. A big-time monster pushes. A big-time monster exerts. So basically, they overcome their own fear and uncertainty, but more importantly, they overcome the fear and uncertainty in other people. See, they bring a certainty to the equation. See, your clients, prospects, people out in the world are coming to you for one reason. They're insecure. They lack confidence. They don't know what to do. They're coming to you, and that is a good thing. Imagine 1 million people coming to you. Imagine 10 million people coming to you. And you're like, oh my gosh, it'd be so overwhelming. But what if they were coming to you for confidence? What if they were coming to you for clarity? What if they were coming to you for a solution to their problem? You see, that's really what you want. You're trying to build a business where people are dependent on you because you are a means or source for supplying energy. That is the definition of power. If you want to be a person of power, a person of influence, just look up the definition of power. Means or source for supplying energy. So a big-time monster, they think, they've got a certain attitude about them. And maybe they got a chip on their shoulder. Maybe they got something to prove. Maybe somebody didn't pay attention to them when they were a kid. Maybe they were, well, I don't know what it is, but they got an attitude. And when you look at the attitude of a big-time monster producer, most people, I want to compare and contrast a monster versus most people. Most people have a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something. Typically, that's reflected in a person's behavior. That's a definition of attitude. Notice that word settled. Complacent. Complacent means gradual settling to a place of mediocrity, but not the monster. The monster is for some reason, it's like the Matt Monero when he came in. Man, they're just hungry. 100 million is not enough, or 200 million. Why? Because of the amount of impact they want to have. The amount of ambition they have. They want more. They're interested in more impact, more time, more money, more freedom. They're interested in just making a bigger dent in the universe. So their attitude is never settled. They never have a settled way of thinking or feeling about someone or something. That's typically reflected in this low energy. A big time monster, if we're going inside the mind of a big time monster, they're never complacent, they're never settled. So let me give you some traits of a big time monster. Then in the second segment, we're going to get into how to overcome fear and uncertainty, and then we're going to work that 90-day burn at the end, okay? And I'm basically recapping everything I cover in Monster Producer in this month. See, here's some attitudes of a big-time monster producer. Not a little baby monster, a big-time monster. Number one, fear, but fear becomes fuel. They wake up scared, but they master their feelings. Anytime you see the word emotion, like I look at fear, it is an emotion. It's an unpleasant emotion created by belief that someone or something's going to harm them in the future, right? Well, monsters wake up with fear. They got an unpleasant emotion every morning when they wake up, but they use it as fuel. You know what they say? I'm getting my butt out of bed. I'm going to push. I'm going to wake up as if I'm broke. No matter how much money I get, I'm going to store it over here, and I'm going to wake up every morning like I am dead broke. I'm going to wake up hungry because satisfied needs never motivate, only unsatisfied needs. What I've noticed about the big-time monsters is at some point they want impact over recognition. They are moving from blind ambition in their life to impact projects. They are recommitting to their purpose. They're recommitting to the reason they wake up and do what they do every day. They're recommitting to their legacy. I typically see that at about 40 years old, guys, is when a person is recommitting to their legacy or getting serious about their legacy. Big time monsters wake up and attack versus be attacked. Think puncher versus counterpuncher. Think a cheetah versus a turtle. A cheetah wakes up and is methodical about what it's going to get. It's strategic. No wasted energy. No wasted energy. It's always moving toward its targets, okay? They play offense versus defense. They plan and execute. They associate with bigger thinkers. You got to quit getting advice, monster producers, from people that ain't producing anything. Quit getting your advice from broke financial advisors. Quit getting your health advice from unhealthy doctors. Quit getting your advice from people that ain't making any money, man. You got to reach up. The big-time monsters are constantly reaching up. And here's another one. They're specialist, not generalist. You see, big-time monsters carve out a very specialized skill set. Now, I don't think a lot of you watching this have figured out what yours is yet. Some days I even struggle with what my special skill set is. But when I get clarity about what it is my special skill set is, then I can sell that special skill set. You see, there is a person in the world that's considered the #1 heart surgeon in the world that's better at doing certain types of surgery than everybody. It's one person. It's not 10 people. It's one person. So for you, a big-time monster thinks specialist, not generalist. Now, let me give you a few more. They think in terms of multiples. See, little baby monsters think like this. How do I go get one more real estate deal? How do I get one more mortgage? How do I do this? My big monster mortgage producers think, how do I get 36 more deals a year? How do I pick up 15 more million? How do I not get one? How do I get them all? How do I not work with one school teacher? How do I work with all 58,000 school teachers? See, big-time monsters think in terms of multiples, not one-to-one. Small-minded people's like, man, I got to get one more deal. I just got to get one more deal. Big-time monsters is thinking like this. So anytime I'm engaging with people, I'm like, hey, how do we get involved with everybody? I met a pest control guy in Chattanooga yesterday, and I'm like, not just how do we get you a monster producer, how do we get the whole freaking company? You're over the whole state of Tennessee. How do we get the whole company involved? Extreme confidence through mastery. They're not low ordinance. See, low ordinance people want to be entertained. High ordinance people want mastery. They got extreme curiosity in their own potential. They are looking. They are striving. They are pushing. They're constantly trying to find somebody to extract something from. Okay, and let me give you one more. They understand the concept of +1. I hear people all the time say, well, I tried to get their attention, but I couldn't get it. And I say, did you send it in a video? Did you send it in audio? Did you have me call them? Did you have somebody else call them? Did you Facebook message them? Did you show up at their house? You see, big-time monsters keep pushing until they get what they want. These are the mindsets of a big-time monster. So you can say, am I a baby monster? Maybe you are. Maybe you're just trying to get to 1 or 2 deals a month, but that's not where you want to end up. You want to figure out, how do I jump 2 deals a month, 3 deals a month, 4 deals a month, 5 deals a month. I think I told you guys this, that I set my targets at 100% year-over-year growth, 100%. Why? Because I want something that scares me. I want to exert so much energy and force towards something that I actually, if I don't get it and I still come up short, I've still crushed my last year's goal. I'm not interested in 10%, 30%, 40%. I think you can do that in a good economy just by waking up and getting out of bed. When we come back in the second segment, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unpack this concept of fear and uncertainty, and I'm going to show you how a person that has fear and uncertainty is not taking action with you, because you got to feed them more information. I'm Coach Michael Burt. You're watching a special breakdown edition of Monster Producer. Hey guys, Coach Michael Burt. I'm on the Mercedes Sprinter. See this seat right here? This seat could be yours. Part of the new deal I'm offering, you get 1 day on the Mercedes Sprinter with me talking about your life and your business. You get 1 10X GrowthCon ticket in Las Vegas with me, 36 other speakers, Tim Grover, Grant Cardone, Brad Lee, Lewis Howes. That's at the Mandalay Bay. That's a 3 or 4 day conference. Incredible. February 22nd through the 25th. That's a $7,500 ticket, by the way. You get 1 day at the Greatness Factory talking about person of interest. How do you blow up your brand? How do you get a couple 100,000 views on your YouTube, a couple million views? How do you get Facebook people? How do you build podcasts? How do you write blogs? How do you write books? Person of interest. You get all of that for $2,500. That's the offer I got on the table. And you're gonna get your money's worth sitting right there, $2,500. Email info@coachburt.com and reserve your seat. I only got I probably only have about 20 more tickets left because I only got 50. I got 20 seats for this right here, okay? So take advantage, guys. I would love to be sitting beside you, driving down the road on a Mercedes Sprinter, coaching you. Hey guys, Coach Burt, welcome back. Special edition of Monster Producer today. Dave Stegg, good to see you. Melinda Dawn Kelly, Aaron Solomon, Michelle Froge, Richard Neese, my man. Let me see how else. We got all kinds of other people on here. Guys, I'm giving you a special breakdown of Monster Producer this month. We're going to turn this into a podcast. We also have this in my online academy. For all my online academy members that are watching, it's Monster Growth. This is in Monster Year 3, 3.0 of the content that I'm giving you this month, Inside the Mind of a Monster. So if I didn't see you in class this month, number one, shame on you. But number two, I'm showing you what I'm covering this month, Jim Youngblood, is I'm talking about Inside the Mind of a Monster. Okay, today on Super Coach this afternoon, the general public, I'm talking about fear and uncertainty. But this is what I covered this month in Monster Producer. So we packaged this up. We put it in a podcast called Monster Producer. So if you want to go back and listen to any of these, Leo Martinez. We put it in a podcast called Monster Producer. We're going to put it out on my YouTube channel, private, label only, right? This one actually goes out to a lot of people, but we're gonna push this out to our Monster Producers as a little breakdown, because this is what we've been covering in Monster Producer. Now, let me tell you guys what Monster Producer became this month for me. We started Inside the Mind of a Monster because they operate at freakish levels. They think at freakish levels. They don't think like a normal cat thinks. They're a high ordnance thinker versus a low ordnance thinker. But then we kind of morphed in. As I was teaching in Chattanooga, Knoxville, Tennessee, by the time I taught Monster 6 times, it really became about this concept. How do we overcome fear and uncertainty? Because I really think, I look at fear and I say, this is the number one thing that prohibits anything. I remember a girl that I wanted to go back with, out with in college, Beth. And man, her name was Summer Kirk. And that girl was so fly. She was so beautiful. And I would go to class every single day and look at Summer Kirk, and I couldn't muster up enough courage to call her. I called her one night, and as soon as she answered, I hung up the phone. Because I didn't think I was good enough, smart enough, good looking enough, whatever the case may be. I had fear, which is stupid. It's stupid, man. So this month in Monster, I've been talking about this. The number one reason a person doesn't take action is because they got fear. Fear, unpleasant emotion. Emotion is a feeling. Anytime you hear the word feeling, know this. Feelings can be influenced. A feeling can be influenced. Just like I'm in a bad mood. I hear a song, I get in a good mood. I hear some music, Michelle Froge, I get in a good mood. Okay? I step outside and it's sunshine, I get in, because it's a feeling. Feelings can be influenced by other people. So know this. Every person that comes to you is afraid of something. They're afraid of something. Until you find the fear, you can't overcome the objection. An objection is opposition of thought. It's disagreement. Sometimes I have opposition of thought because I just don't even know what I don't even know. I'm ignorant. And ignorant means I don't even know how you can help me. Okay? So I'm looking at fear and I'm going, it's an unpleasant emotion created by belief. The belief starts when we're little babies. Don't touch this. Don't run. Be careful. Don't talk to strangers. Now fast forward to you're 40 years old. Be careful. Don't go out there. Don't put yourself in position to be rejected. So you got a fear. Fear breeds uncertainty, which is ambivalence, vacillation, confusion, a lack of clarity, and a lack of certainty. Well, a big-time Monster Producer brings a level of certainty to the equation. They know. Like I have certainty. If you have a great explanation of service, if you work a selling system, if you work the Monster Planner, if you follow up 7 touches, if you extract referrals, you're going to become a person of interest. And when you become a person of interest, people are going to chase you. You're going to create demand. I know with certainty. You know why? Because I've been coaching thousands of people. So I want you to understand this. Because of this fear, you're going to get objection. Objection is opposition of thought. So Michelle Froge goes out, Leo Martinez goes out, Kristen Stabeck goes out. They try to pitch their services to other people. They get objection, opposition of thought. When they get objection, okay, the little bitty baby monster folds. There's a 5-step process that I use to overcome objection, okay? And if you're watching this, you got to write this down. Right, Tiffany Williams? You got to write it down. Number 1, I listen. and I acknowledge. When I get objection, hey, it's a lot of money, coach. You're right. I agree, it is a lot of money. I listen and I acknowledge. Number 3, I isolate. This is my favorite question when it comes to overcoming objection. Is there any other reason outside of you thinking this is a lot of money that would keep you from moving forward? And let me tell you why I asked that question. I'm isolating the objection. So one of the best questions you can ever ask, ever. So a person says, I need to think about it. Is there any other reason outside of you needing to think about it that would prohibit you from moving forward? Okay, no. I got to talk to my husband. Is there any other reason outside of you having to talk to your husband that would keep you from moving forward? Well, it does seem like a lot of money. Okay, now I got a new objection. Now what I've done, Ryan, is I found the objection. I found the objection. The objection ain't got to talk to my husband. The objection is I think it's a lot of money. Okay, so now I understand. It is a lot of money. If I could show you a way to break this down in a way that you could absorb it or it could help you be an asset, would you at least be open to that? And they're like, well, maybe. So then I validate. I listen, I acknowledge, I isolate, and I validate. So you're telling me, Jack, if I could show you how this was not a lot of money in comparison to what you could do, that you would move forward with me, right? Isn't that right? Now notice how I say that question. So Ryan, you're telling me if I could show you a way to move out of your contract with them and into a contract with us and actually give you this level of service versus this level of service, you would move forward with me. Isn't that right? I validate. Now, if they still balk on me and they're sitting there and they're not moving forward, then I've added a step to the objection process. I actually challenge them. Jack, you and I both know that if you wait too long, we lose all the momentum we're trying to build, right? If you wait to the beginning of the year, you will have wasted 90 days. You and I both know that the reason we're having this conversation is because you're not satisfied in the current contract you're with, that you've grown passive in your current relationship. Well, here's my objection. I got a best friend, and my best friend sells real estate, and I just don't know how to hurt their feelings. I understand. Is there any other reason outside of you having a best friend in real estate that would keep you from moving forward with me? No, it's just this thing. I don't know how to hurt their feelings. I get it. But sometimes when I've mixed business and pleasure, and when I've mixed business and friendship, I left out of there with not a friend. You know what I'm talking about? So what I do is I challenge their thinking. That's called the challenge. That is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. So when I meet opposition of thought, and I meet it every day. Listen, I met it last night with my 5-year-old daughter. I used this on my daughter last night. Daddy, can I stay up to 9:30? You know, I'm not tired. Sweetheart, I understand that you want to stay up. Daddy likes staying up late sometimes too. Listen and acknowledge. That's the agreement. Is there any other reason other than you want to stay up 30 minutes late that's keeping you from going to bed? No, I just want to stay up. Well, sweetheart, isn't it true that when you don't go to bed like you're supposed to, you're not rested like you need to, you don't have the fuel you need to go to gymnastics and be your best? Isn't it true that I've seen you throw some hissy fits and kick and scream and pitch a fit when you don't get enough sleep, sweetheart? Do you remember that? Yeah, you're right, Daddy. Okay, if I could show you how we can get in bed, get a good night's rest so you're ready to go tomorrow and have a great day at school, would you get in bed for Daddy? Yeah, you got me, Dad. You can use it on your kids, man. The formula I'm giving you works on everywhere. What if you got employees? Well, I don't know about this. Hey, is there any other reason outside of you bitching and moaning about this one thing that really ain't irrelevant that's keeping you from moving forward with this project I asked you to? No, that's really the only reason. If I could show you how to do it without all the bitching and moaning and get you to the place you want to go, would you do this for me? Because I really need you to come through. You're telling me you'll do it, right? So what I'm doing is when I meet opposition, remember opposition is just objection is just opposition of thought. The reason you got opposition of thought is because you got some fear. The reason you got fear is because you got uncertainty, and fear is just an unpleasant emotion. I can influence your emotion. See, I listen to certain people anymore, and when I wake up in the morning, my mojo's not going, I listen to certain people, and they influence my emotion. So big-time monster producers, this is what I'm trying to tell you, big-time monster producers know when they go out and try to sell their wares to the world that they're going to meet opposition of thought. They know people are going to have excuses. Let me think about it, talk about it, pray about it, sleep on it, talk to my husband about it, come back 6 months from now, the timing's not right, this is not right. Big-time monsters already know this. So they have clothed themselves for objection. Now, you hear me talk about biblical meditation. Biblical meditation is where I meditate on the Word of God, on the Bible, so when the devil attacks me during the day, I'm already preloaded with Scripture, so I can put a spear, take that thought captive, and I can change a negative thought to a positive thought very quickly. Now, the same is true of a monster producer. They have meditated on this model. Listen, acknowledge, isolate, validate, challenge. Listen, acknowledge, isolate, validate, challenge. I've worked that muscle. So when you give me some objection, I'm ready for it, man. I'm like, is that all you got? Because surely to goodness you got more than that. I mean, that's a little wimpy objection. You got to think about. Other than you have to think about, is there anything else that's keeping you from moving forward? You and I both know that the timing is never right. We create our timing, right? You and I both know that you came to me for a reason. Now, we can have this conversation today. We can have it 6 months from now. But what is the cost of inaction in your life, Michelle? What is the cost of inaction in your life, Mandy Livingston? What is the cost of inaction, Krista Lewis? What is the cost of inaction? See, I challenge a person to think, and I do it with a smile so they love it. You know what I'm talking about? When I come back from the break, guys, final segment today. Today we're talking inside the mind of a monster. So we tackled the mindset of a monster, right? Multiples, curious, hungry, use fear as fuel. Then we talked about how to overcome fear and uncertainty, emotion, right? Ambivalence, insecurity, doubt with your certainty, because you got a 5-step formula. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about how to execute a 90-day burn. I'm doing a special session at the Greatness Factory. I'm constantly doing these for the new monsters. Get in there. Get re-engaged. Stay focused. I'm doing this tomorrow from 4 to 5:15 for the monster producers in the coaching program. So when I come back in the final segment, I'm going to talk about 90-day burn. We're working muscles today. It's good to see everybody here on Monster Producer. Hey guys, Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, and man, am I excited to announce my second retreat date, Seaside, Florida, November 16th through the 19th. We have so much demand for going to Seaside, spending time masterminding, going deeper on your business, spending some one-to-one time, really dissecting everything from your explanational service to your selling system, to your follow-up, to the experience. And I partnered with Scott Nagy, multi-millionaire who sold his business for millions of dollars, to be able to look at every business on business design. So this specific retreat is to go deeper on your business. Masterminds in the morning, right? Lunch together, dinner at the ocean. We're going to have fun and we're going to mix business and pleasure. Seaside, November 16th through the 19th. $2,500 gets you 2 people to go down there with us. I only have 8 rooms to sell. So take advantage, get in a relaxed state, go to Seaside with me. Let's retreat to attack. Welcome back, Monster Producers. You may not know this, but every month I cut a condensed version of Monster Producer, and that goes to my Monster Growth Academy. Every single Monster Producer can take advantage of that. We offer it to our monsters at $49 a month for you to train. If you want to train every day with me, this goes to our online academy. It also goes to a podcast, and the podcast is on called Monster Producer on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, all those things. I also sent it to my YouTube channel, and this one we make public. We don't make the Monster Producers that I film public, but we make this one public because I do believe in putting content out and giving people a reason to take action. Now, this month, we've been covering Inside the Mind of a Monster, how to overcome fear and uncertainty, and how to work a 90-day burn. And a 90-day burn is a concentrated period of time because most people's business at the end of the year does this. They peter out. So let me challenge you. You've worked too hard. You've come too far to limp across the finish line. Just remember that. You pushed too hard to get to this point in your career to just peter out at the end of the year. So 90-day burn is concentrated action. Now, the 90-day burn that I'm looking at, that I'm trying to get you to take action on, is real simple. You don't have to do all of this, so don't panic and freak out, because I know a lot of people freak out. They're like, oh gosh, I could never do all that stuff. Yeah, but that's why you're not a monster, man. Monsters take big action. They don't take little action. They take big action. So at the end of a year, here's what I do. Every day I try to contact 5 of my current clients. If not 5, at least 3. Okay? And I'm asking them, how's it going? How can we help you? Who do we need to be talking to? If this is valuable for you, who else do we need to be talking to? I'm always pushing them to something. Number 2, I try to call out the 5 people on my hit list. Hit list represents new money. Could come from past clients, current clients, new people, or it can come from people you think you can help. It can come from strategic partners. Every day, there should be an outbound calls. Every single day. Every single day, there should be an outbound effort to get some new business. Money only changes hands when problems are solved. Go find some problems to solve, man. Go find some problems to solve. Get serious about your business. Right, Melinda Kelly? Get serious about your business. Call out. What do you say? You talk to people. You spend time with them. You share your explanation of services. If they're interested, they go to your farm club, which is the next thing I work every day. So every day I'm calling current clients. Every day I'm calling future clients. Every day I'm calling farm club people. These are people who have indicated interest in my product or service, but I've not closed them. So I'm going 7 touches. Now, this is where the monster goes a big old +1, Mandy Livingston. Because here's the deal. The other day, Eric White on my team, great guy, doing a great job, selling 50, 60, 70,000 a month in sales. We're trying to close a guy named Mark Rovner. Mark Rovner is now a monster producer, signed up for Miami this week. And Mark was uncertain. The reason a person doesn't take action is because they got fear and uncertainty. So how do we do that? We feed them more information. So I'm asking Eric, I'm like, Eric, have you given him enough information to take action? Coach, how much more can I give him? I'm like, have you given it to him in video? Nope. Have you given it to him in audio? No. Have you got me on the phone with him one time? Have you got Bill on the phone with him? Have you got Takesha on the phone? Have you got Andy on the phone with him? Right? Have you sent it to him in a text? Have you sent it to him in this? Have you had our best client call him? It's right. And to Eric's credit, man, he did. Eric got Richard Johnson on the phone with him, alleviated his fears. I talked to Mark twice. Mark committed to Monster Producer. Thank you, Mark, for committing. Here's the deal. He hadn't seen enough to take action. So what I'm doing in the farm club is I'm feeding you information. And I'm going to keep feeding you that information in any way I can feed it to you. I don't care. Plane, train, automobile, show up at your house, give it to you in a written letter, have somebody else call you. I got to keep feeding you. So as part of my 90-day burn, I'm committing to this. Every day I'm calling current clients. Every day I'm calling past clients. Every day I'm calling people in the pipeline. Every day I'm calling on new money. Let me tell you what else I'm doing. Every day I'm calling on my top 25 as well. And my top 25 is my big advocates. I'm working 3 of my top 25 every single day. Okay? So I want you really, really, really thinking about this. This is the actions that I'm taking. And I'm cranking that engine up every single day. Now, let me give you 2 more, then I get you out of here. I'm also looking for a reason to call out. I'm looking for a reason to call out. So I create concepts and structures. Right, Leo? I create concepts and structures. 90-day burn. Cardone offer. Get on the bus with me. We're getting ready to roll out an offer for you to fly private with me to 3 speaking engagements on a private jet. And I'm constantly just pushing it out and pushing it out and pushing it out. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to find reasons for my sales team to make outbound calls to generate interest, to exchange energy. And when you exchange enough energy, you start exchanging money. When you exchange enough energy, you start exchanging money. So look at all the things I'm doing every week. On top of writing a blog, on top of doing these videos, on top of speaking at events, on top of working my sellings, on top of coaching monsters. You see, I'm exchanging energy. When I went into Houston last week, I'm speaking at a private event, Dr. Holtz's house. Right in there just speaking to new people. I don't even know any of them. Generating leads, baby. Exchanging energy, and then we exchange money. So here's my Vince Lombardi moment. Will you commit to the 90-day burn? Will you commit to increasing your actions at the end of this year? Will you get your team on board with increasing? And listen, don't tell me that they won't buy in. Because if they ain't buying into your methodology, it means they ain't bought into the messenger. They got to buy into you first. And when they buy into you, they will buy into whatever you tell them. Guys, I believe a monster producer is a legendary creature. If you got questions, email me, info@coachburt.com. Send me an email. Send me a Facebook message. And I want you to be so successful the last 90 days of the year. You know I love you. You know I love coaching you. Okay? So if there's any way we can help you, then please reach out to us and let us help you keep moving your ball down the field. Guys, this has been Monster Producer. Shortened version just for you to make sure you're getting better and better. Repetition. You need to hear it over and over and over and over.
This event couldn't go on without the sponsors that we have that help us out. One of the sponsors, my longtime friend and personal coach, who's helped us get to limits that we never dreamed we could get to, Coach Michael Burt, thank you so much. Singer-songwriter, national music artist. Is everybody ready? Randy Houser.
Are y'all with me tonight? Let's hear it one time. All right.
I am the super driver of the super coach. That is what I am.
Boom! Ain't nobody I promote better than this girl right here.
Black Pontiac with a pocket of cash, foot on the gas, ready to throw one up. Looks like a pickle truck.
Business to business CFO.
But ain't nobody slowing us down. Right, come on. She said I need a little something with some get up and go, and nobody knows how to get me going quite like you do when you do the thing.
It's unbelievable. This is my wife. We had a great customer appreciation event. Over 500 people here tonight. We exchanged energy with the market. So God bless you.